Welcome back. My name is Rebecca. I eat books. And today I thought I would do the BookTube newbie tag. A rite of passage for all young booktubers. This is a tagged video. Was I tagged? No, I wasn't. Okay. I guess I should introduce myself. I am 30 years old. I live in New Haven, Connecticut with this guy. His name is Hush Puppy, and my husband. And we both work in higher education. I work at the intersection of education and psychology, and his department is political science. I think I'll get right into the questions. Okay, so the first question is, why did you start this channel? For friends, for some friends, the Ramona virus, and just wanting some more people to connect with and talk about books with. And I also think that I'm excited about the prospect of thinking more critically about books and thinking more about how I talk about books to others through this medium. I talk a lot about wanting to talk about books with friends, but when I'm reading them, I'm not thinking about how I would share that. And so far, what I've really enjoyed is how my mindset has shifted as I'm reading to thinking more about how I would share this information with somebody else who might be interested in it. Question 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? So I love books. In addition to loving books, I love to read book criticism. I like to read about books. And I'm not sure that a lot of people on YouTube are doing that. And I'm curious to see if there are other people in this community who want to chat book criticism with me, talk about London review of books, LA review of books. Is that fun? Fun's not really like my personal brand, so I won't be offended if you don't think that's fun. Question 3. What are you most excited about for this channel? I'm most excited about getting recommendations from other people. I think that, as I mentioned, I read a lot of criticism, and so I get my book recommendations sort of from like the book world, publishing world elite, right? And I think there's a lot of great stuff being published by indie publishers that's not being featured in the New York Times Book Review every week. And I'm excited to have a broader pool from which to pull book recommendations. What book or series got you into reading? This is my favorite question. As a youngin', I was obsessed with Amelia Bedelia. Look it up if you're not familiar. She is very literal. And I was obsessed with Little Women. And when I was a kid, my mom and I would read it together. And when we would finish the last page, we would close the book and just reopen it back to the first page and just read it on a loop, which is insane because there's so many good books out there, but that's what we did. Joe for life. And then, I went to college and grad school, and I didn't read a ton outside of my assigned readings during that time, but shortly after grad school, I was living in California and I had a great group of friends and we decided to start a book club. And that's really what got me rolling with my reading as an adult, reading for fun as an adult. Our first book was Homegoing by Ya Jessie, which was chef's kiss, a great book to start out a book club. Around that time, I also read for fun the Neapolitan novels, the Neapolitan Quartet by Elena Ferrante, which I love Elena Ferrante. I loved the series. All right. Question number 5. Where do you read? Well, it's winter in Connecticut right now, so I do a lot of reading from bed. But my preference is reading outside. Being outside makes reading exponentially more enjoyable. My ideal reading situation is like 4:45 p.m., 75 degrees, wine bar, patio, hefty pour, something like a chillable red. Nobody with me, just like a little bistro table by myself reading, and like maybe there's like a little appetizer plate. Okay, last question. What kind of books do you like to read? So I read a lot of female authors. I read mostly literary fiction. I really like auto fiction. I like beautiful writing, and I like my writing to be really focused on characters. I could read 400 pages that are entirely internal in a woman's brain, and there'd be no plot, nothing happen, and I would be really happy with that. I pulled some favorites here. The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Okay, like the rest of the world and BookTube and the internet, I loved Luster last year. Nell Zink is one of my favorites. I don't know if that I've seen a lot of Nell Zink chat out there in the BookTube world. I love her. Mislaid is a great place to start. This is Doxology, her most recent release, which is great. Nicotine is good, and The Wall Creeper. I really like her. I also love Otessa Moshfegh, but I think that My Year of Rest and Relaxation is my favorite of her work. And I love Rachel Cusk. I love the Outline Transit Kudos trilogy. I think it's great. This is probably the most like auto-fiction-y of that pile. And then the last thing is I thought I would just mention the booktubers I like. And if you like these booktubers too, maybe you'll have some more recommendations for me. So Grace at GK Reads. I think she's hilarious. I could listen to her talk about thrillers all day, which I'm never going to read, but if she's talking about them, I'm watching. Hannah at Let's Talk About Books, Baby. So smart. I just really appreciate what she has to say about what she reads. She's very thoughtful in her reviews, in her discussion. Also, she is a open ocean swimmer, which is so badass. Really cool. She seems like a cool gal. Kieran at KD Books. I'm not sure I get it, but I know that I like it. The Bar and the Bookshelf. Watching The Bar and the Bookshelf is like really casual, having a beer with a friend and talking about books, which is really what I'm here for. All I want in the world right now. And lastly, CJ Reads. I think that CJ probably has the most similar taste in books as me of everyone I've seen on the tube. She openly shuns plot like I do. And also she does beautiful house renovations, which of course I can't get enough of. There's an ambulance. Cool. So, thanks for watching. If you also love any of these books, you have any book recommendations for me, or you also love these booktubers and you have any booktube recommendations for me, that would be great. I'll see you soon.